Hello, all you wonderful and creative humans. I'm Pixie, and this is Pixie's Projects. If you visited before, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome in. I'm glad you're here. Today, we're going to do crystals. I was requested to do a video showing how I color crystals, so I'm going to do it two ways. One with markers and using pencils for shading, and one just using pencils. So stay tuned. So I'm going to start with marker shading, or markers with pencil shading on top. And this is an example of that. I also have another example of that I will share. Let's see where it is. It's from CocoWyo Witches. I just finished this page a couple months ago. Of course, it's not dated, but here you can see there's a pile of crystals on this page as well. And these were both done with a pencil and then with a marker. I don't know, I just keep saying pencil, but a marker, and then I shaded over top with colored pencil. So I'm just going to get what I need and we're going to get started. So for the markers with pencil on top, we're going to be using Witch Apothecary by the Coloring Hive. It's illustrated by Alina Tkachenko. This is my second take on trying to do this part of the video because when I was editing, I realized I was filming completely like this, so you could not see what I was doing. Luckily, we have a second set of crystals up top. Pardon me. So I'm going to go ahead and do those so you can see how that works. I'm using the Cali Art marker in R100. I'm using my Arctics pencils. And let me pull the ones I did not want to use last time. And we'll go ahead with these. We've got, oh, I already did the bottom, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of moving around. Hold on one second. Sorry. All right, so for the top, we're going to use Parma Violet, Lilac, and light cerulean blue. So they'll be different from the ones here on the bottom, just slightly, because they'll have blue and purple and a little bit of pink with the background. So, again, Cali Art and the Arctics. And I am going to pull the blush pink and the regular pink out just to be safe. I might try to just recreate the bottom ones. I have Winsor & Newton ink, and I have my dip pen as well. So I'm just going to make some squeaky noises and push my chair in. And we're going to go ahead and color these gems. Hopefully this time on camera. I'm not happy about that. Okay, let me grab my blotter paper because it is in the next part of the video. You'll see it's in my other book to show you the pencils. Like I said, I've had to go back and film this part again. So here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and color these in straight with the alcohol marker in R100 or R1, yeah, R100. So it's a very pale pink, just to give them a base color. I'm just glad, like, I was awake enough to be watching the video all the way through. Sometimes, like, when I'm watching it, I half watch it and half do other things. This time I was staring directly at it. When I previously filmed this section of the video, I was talking about how I set up a dedicated workspace, and I'm still not used to the parameters of what's in film or what's in camera because I can't see it, you know, when I'm sitting down. And how I was set up before, I had started to memorize, like, kind of where stuff would be. And I got to do that all over again. And now it's good because once I do it, it's over. I've done it. I'm never going to have to reset up my camera. I'm never going to have to reset up my area to film. I'm not going to have to put my mat down. It's all going to stay right where it is. So while that's exciting and interesting for me, this first video was a little bit of a doozy because I filmed completely off camera. So yeah, new things. We'll figure it out. All right, so I've colored in all the crystals. I am going to go ahead and do them just like I did on the bottom because you'll see in the next part I'm going to do add the blue in for those. I just need to give this a tilt because I don't color that way. And you'll see a lot of the time when I do these types of videos, I do move my page. I'm not that good. Like a lot of people, you know, don't move anything when they film. And as you can tell, I have enough trouble even, you know, being on camera apparently. So I don't know. I can't do the other way. I'm going to carry this up because it's such a long crystal. And I feel like if I don't, it's not going to have any color to it except that bottom layer of pink. So I'm just going to go back in and darken up the bottom. And I just fade out my pencil, you know, as to shade. And there we go. So that is what I'm going to do for that one. I'm going to come in with another purple, which the purples and pinks are very similar to each other. It's a slight color variation. It is not a lot at all. And I'm just going to add that in right below that. And I'm going to pull a little in through here, going light and then a little bit heavier, and then lighter again, just to add a little more color to that one facet. Then I'm going to go in with the pink. That was a lot of looking to see what color that was when it was just pink, but that's what we had to do. We're going to add that here and here. So there is no rhyme or reason to where I'm adding the colors. When light reflects off a crystal, it does add a bunch of different colors to the area, and they don't, to me, they don't seem to have a lot of, this one's the blush pink, sorry. They don't have a lot of reasons why they hit the way they hit, and if they do, that is a job for somebody else. I'm not a huge, like, science person, and I don't understand how everything works, and I don't need to either, to get a serviceable coloring page. And I hope you can see some of this time. But I'm going to take the purple in there. Hold on. So this one is Parma Violet again. And I'm just going to come in through here and in through here and a little bit right there. And then I'm going to take my lighter pink, which is the blush pink. And even though these aren't going to blend real great together, they'll still give a little variation of color. And do it again up the top. And I want to put a little here. And then we'll come back with the lilac on this last little. And you don't have to do every single facet. I am, but you do not have to. So I've got some white ink here, like I said. And hopefully my, in the first filming, my dip pen did not agree with what I was doing, which was difficult. I had a couple of drips, which is fine. They do clean up, but take your dip pen and then just start coloring in your white lines. I don't recommend doing this like I am. You should wait till you're all done and then come in with your white at the end so that it's just not messy. I don't know what I'm doing with the background. And I don't feel like I can show you a crystal and be like, this is finished if I don't use the white on it, because that's how I finish it off. Now, this is just my Winsor & Newton ink. And I added a little bit of water, and I put it in a cup, so I didn't add water directly to my jar of ink. And it's just going to dull out that black line everywhere. Now, in the next portion of the video where I do just the colored pencils, I spent a little bit of time there talking about how we changed to a detail paintbrush because I was having such trouble with the dip pen. And the reason I was having so much trouble is I didn't add any water at all. So it wasn't moving very well, and I had a couple of, I don't know, like ink blots. that fell off my dip pen onto my paper, which are easily like dabbed off with a paper towel while it's still wet. So I'm not showing much of that this time. But yeah, when I'm talking about that later on, you'll know that was what had happened to me. But I feel silly kind of doing this video because I don't do anything, too difficult. It's just a little bit of pencil and marker and some white ink. And as you can see at the parts that are starting to dry, it's starting to dry and the black line still a little bit more visible, and that is because I added the water to the ink. So I did a dip pen video a couple weeks ago explaining how to use it to write and how to use it to color, and I had said in there that coloring was more difficult because you would have to dip more frequently because you'd want to leave it thicker so that it covers the line with one pass or maybe two tops. And if you water it down, you may have to go over it a couple more times. And as I said, I've watered this down, so I'm going to have to do at least 2 passes in some areas, it looks like. Which is, fine. It depends what you want to deal with. If you want to get a layer on there quick, you might have to dip a few times in a row. Or if you want to put it on slower and then check on it and come back to it, you can do that and then do a second layer. It's not perfection, but it's definitely better than, and you can see I got some run through, and I'm fine with that because that'll just white out and fade some of the other areas. But yeah, it's not as hard to use as a gel pen. Like, it will write over the pencils. I don't recommend doing this either. So I guess this is a whole video of don't do this. But I would wait for that to fully dry before I added more if I wasn't under a time constraint. I guess I could stop the video and come back, but I'm here and I'm already doing bad things. I might as well keep going. Maybe something horrible will happen and you'll learn from my mistakes. See, like right there, it doesn't want to go on because it's still a little too wet. So, but that's the basic gist of how I color crystals with markers and pencils. And if you give me just a moment, I'm just going to rinse off my dip pen a little, and I'll stand up and I'll pull this up so you can see it closer. Oops, I have my book upside down still. So there it is. That's how I do the crystals. And in just a few moments, I'll be back and we'll get started on doing them with pencil. So I'm going to show a couple samples of the crystals done with just pencils. We have these, and I did them all in different colors. So there's purple and pink and yellow and blue, and they're all colored different colors. Down here I have one where I put them together. So that's one. Then we have in Jewelry Box by HannaKarlon. I'm showing you this because this is more like a gem, but it has the same concept. It's the white, the purple, the blue, and the pink. And then again, we have one in Daydreams by HannaKarlon. She has a lot of crystals, apparently. Here's one here where I did it with the purple and the blue and the pink. And some of them are all one color and some of them are multicolored. And there's a ton on the bottom of that page as well. This is just so you can see, like, you pretty much can use any color you want and get the same effect. This is Summer Nights by HannaKarlon. And again, this is jewels as opposed to crystals, but they have the same sort of technique to them. And you can see I use the purple, pink, blue combo a lot because for me that kind of denotes white. If light is shining on a white prism. This one has crystals and icicles, which I've done the same way. They're all sorry, I pushed the camera, but they're all done with blues in here, tones of blue. And then the icicles as well are all in the tones of blue, shades of blue. And then in Forest Kingdom, again, we've got another gem and a couple small crystals. This is also HannaKarlon with the small crystals on the bug's belly and the gem on the bug's back. And I did them all like, again, with the white, pink, and blue because that is reminiscent of a clear gem or a clear crystal to me. And so for the demonstration of just the pencils, I'm going to go ahead and do this page from Magical Dawn, which is also HannaKarlon. And I am just going to go ahead and do one or two of these with a pencil so you can see how they look. And then you'll be able to do them yourself at home. Like I said when I started the video, sorry, I'm turning my head on you. I have to grab my paper. I don't feel like what I do is too complicated. And sometimes I really don't even feel like it's something to show people. But I was asked, and this is actually all that I do. I'll be right back. I just want to grab my detail brush. Okay, so I grabbed a detail brush and I grabbed a blue pencil so you can see it with another color in it. My detail brush looks like this. It is just a very fine pointed brush. We're going to try that for the white ink instead of the dip pen because I was having so much trouble. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to take this big one towards the middle so that it's easy to see. And of course my book wants to open. Let me grab a clip. Okay, I've got us a clip. I'm just going to clip down a couple pages on that side so it has some weight. And then we're going to get back to it. So I've got my blue pencil. And we're going to go ahead and come in here and just start putting color on. And again, do it in any configuration that you'd like. It doesn't have to be, you know, some sort of formula because you want them to look different. You want every one of them to look different from the others because the light, especially when they're in a clump like that, the light will hit them and bounce off each other and add color to the ones next to it and closest to it. So the colors will all change. So there's my blue. And I'm going a little heavy on one color because my purples and pinks look a little too similar for me to really feel like I got a good mix. So I'm going to try and go with the 3 only and not add more colors. And you can go up as high as you want or as low as you want. You can come in from both sides like this. But you just want to add enough color. And you want to use something a little bit, not a hard pencil, but I've done it with Prismacolors and sometimes it'll pick up the other colors around it, which isn't necessarily bad, but it's not necessarily what I'm looking to do. Sometimes when you do it and you do the white pencil over, you can smear the colors into each other, and that's a look as well. We are going to add the white pencil, the white Arctic pencil over this, just to pull the colors a little bit. So yeah, this is, I think, enough for me. I like leaving some of it white and then pulling a little bit and muting the colors with the white pencil. And you can see they're kind of blending into each other a little bit, which is fine by me. Oh, I didn't weight that page down near as much as I thought. Okay, so as you can see, that's pretty much it. That's like all I'm going to do to this. And I'm going to repeat that for all of them. Okay, so now we're going to bring back our Winsor & Newton white ink. We had a little bubble in it, and I have a little rag here, and my detail brush, which we're going to go ahead and try this time. So when what you have isn't working for you, don't keep doing it. Try something else. I like this one because it's angled, so I can see from any position, and I'm trying to decide if this is a good idea or not. And with the draw, like you can see with the brush, it's really just putting on a very little light layer, which I don't particularly care for. And then you can see too all these the little black lines. Sometimes I'll color them white, sometimes I'll leave them as they are. It really just depends. I think if I'm in a rush or if I don't care. I'm not really sure. Sometimes they don't bother me and sometimes they drive me crazy. And again, if you're working on this at home or you're doing crystals at home, I suggest waiting and doing all the white at the end. But for the purpose of showing you what I do, I'm doing it first. Or not first, but before I finish the rest of the page. And yeah, you can see that you have a little more of the black showing through with using the paintbrush, but I'm not entirely mad at it. So for now, I'm going to say it's fine. And I'll try to do this with the other videos that I'm going to put out as well. You know, like I said, I'll do the bottles and the smoke and all of that. And what else did I have? I had gems, which will be colors. And I don't remember now. We've got a mushroom we can do. There's quite a few things on that page from Witch's Apothecary that I'm going to do over the course of the next couple of weeks. But we have a ton of options on things to do in there, and I'll try to find something to do it just in pencil as well as doing the one with the marker base for all the things I'm going to do so that you can see. It's just slightly different, as you can tell. Like the thing doesn't have all over color, so we've got a little bit more white space in this than we would if I had used the marker. And that's only because I straight colored it. You can definitely go in there with the marker and only use it on parts of it. You know, and then go back in with your pencils over top of that. Just cleaning off my brush a little so I can get to the sink. But that is how I color crystals with pencil and how I color crystals with marker, and then use pencil over top. Just going to stand up so I can get closer for you. And there you go. And you can see we've got a lot more of the black showing, but it isn't black. It's just a sort of gray now. And in the other one, the black is more covered up because we used the dip brush, the dip pen, and made a little more effort getting it in there. And I could go over either of these again if I wanted to. And you can also do like the fingernail scraping to get it slightly lighter, but it doesn't come off like it does with gel pen. But that is how I color crystals with markers and how I color crystals with pencils. So until next time, friends, have a very good day. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.